Today we're celebrating spring like a grandma. Grandmacore is all about honoring the simple things, and I don't know if you're like me, but I find the older I get, the more I enjoy the simple, slow things of life. Having fresh flowers in the house is one thing that I love about spring, and it makes it even more special if you can get out and pick these flowers yourself. We have a family tradition of going over to South Carolina to a farm and picking daffodils together. We've been doing this ever since the kids were small. And just because your kids are getting older, it doesn't mean that you can't continue on with at least some of these family traditions. The second thing I wanted to do as part of my Grandmacore spring was do some spring cleaning. Now, don't laugh, but I was really never taught how to spring clean. I remember seeing my grandma do this when I was a little girl, but I never really participated. So I went on Pinterest to look for a checklist, and I wasn't really finding anything that I liked there. So the next place I went was on Etsy, and I paid $1 for a checklist. I don't know if you're like me, but I just love having a list. That way I can go through and check things off, and it kind of gives me the confidence to make sure I'm doing everything right. We've got a rainy day, and that feels like a good opportunity to just stay inside and do some spring cleaning. Got my spring cleaning list printed out and I am ready to go. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get all of these things done, but we'll just get started and see what happens. I'll be starting over here in the all rooms section, and then I'll move down into the bedroom section. I'll also have this list linked for you down below in the description box, just in case you're looking for something like this too. One of the first things on the list is to declutter. My dresser has become one of my biggest areas for clutter. It's kind of like my little library. I like to read every night before I go to bed, and things just seem to pile up on me. But I'll show you some of the books that I've been reading. I've kind of gone down a rabbit hole of healthy stuff. And I got so off track at Christmas time that I really needed to get myself back together. And I got these books from the library. That way I can see if they're worth buying before I make the investment. And I got a lot of good information and I made a lot of notes, but I'm not sure that I would buy this. I probably would buy this one. I did buy this book, and this has been a pretty good one. It's something that I'll have to keep rereading to be able to completely understand it, because there is a lot of information in here. I don't know if any of you other ladies are dealing with these kind of issues, but I feel like we really just have to help ourselves, because it doesn't seem like we get a lot of help from the medical field. Also, I got this free from Pinterest, things to declutter, and I think we're going to save this one for another day, but this is definitely needed in my home. had this box of DVDs in our bedroom for a while now, and I haven't really known what to do with them. So my husband went on Temu and ordered a set of plastic DVD cases. So this is what the cases look like. And it came as a set of 4. And also, this was our first time ordering anything off of Temu. So I think it's turned out pretty good. I organized it with our Christmas movies, some kiddie movies, and then some girly shows like Downton Abbey. And then in another container, I put all the action movies for my husband. I saved washing my bedding for last because I didn't want dust to get all over the bed. And I still need to wash my curtains. I just have to wait for my husband to get home from work so he can take them down for me. I don't know if you're like me, but I always have to sleep with a fan, even during the winter months. The house I grew up in as a kid didn't have central heat or central air, and I got used to sleeping with a fan as a kid, and it's a habit that I've never been able to break. My husband, he's so sweet. He built me this fan stand and he painted it to match the furniture. So I've gotten a lot done on our list and it really hasn't been that bad. I've been going as fast as I can and I'm kind of out of breath. Some things that I didn't do today were my ceiling fan because I think it hasn't been that long ago that we did the fans. And I also didn't do my baseboards because y'all, I just didn't feel like sitting on the floor today. I'm going to check back in with you tomorrow and show you how everything turned out. I am so glad you're here today. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Jennifer and this channel is for women who love their homes and families and want to grow in their faith and homemaking. Spring cleaning in the bedroom is done and I'm so glad that I tried it. It may not look a whole lot different, but it sure does feel cleaner. I wanted to share a verse with you that God has laid on my heart, and it's from Proverbs 16:24. Pleasant words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. And I think this verse is just so perfect for spring. The reason I think this verse is perfect for spring is because it makes me think of bees and honey and honeycomb and all those sweet things. I've really taken it to heart and I haven't said anything to my family, but I'm really trying to watch my words. I'm really trying to make my speech sweeter and more encouraging, and that's not always easy, especially when you have a teenage boy living in your house. But you know, all we can do is the best we can, and we're gonna mess up. I've really been trying, and I haven't said anything to my family that I have been trying to do better with my words. But I can see in them that they're different when I'm different. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but we're gonna have days when we mess up. No matter how hard we try, we can't do things in our own strength. And you know, the devil, he's there ready to point the finger, and I have felt bad when I've slipped up, but I have to remember that just gotta keep going. Just got to keep going. Nobody's perfect. Nobody was perfect who walked the face of this earth except Jesus. Now, after all that hard work, I think we deserve a treat. I'm going to be making a dessert that is nostalgic to me, and that's a cobbler. This time I'm making a blueberry cobbler because I need to use up some of those blueberries out of my freezer before blueberry picking season comes around again. I would love to hear what desserts or recipes are nostalgic to you. So now it's the next day and it's time to make our cobbler. For many years I have used Paula Deen's recipe, and if you don't know who Paula Deen is, she owns a famous restaurant here in Savannah, and she used to have a cooking show on TV. Way back in 2003, my mom, me, and Maggie met Paula, and she autographed this cookbook for us. To tell you the truth, the only recipe that I ever use out of this cookbook is her cobbler recipe, and you can tell that this cookbook has been loved. Lately, for the past couple of years, I've been using the sourdough recipe, and it's really close to Paula's recipe, except you just add a little bit of starter. I'll try to have both of these recipes linked for you down in the description box. The first thing we're going to do is cook our fruit. Hope you're having just the most wonderful spring, and I would love to hear all about your spring homemaking traditions. If you'd like to see another homemaking video from me, I'll have one for you right here on the screen. If you have a prayer request, please leave that down in the comment section. And until next time, happy homemaking.